Right, hello everyone, this is Product Shard, and we're back with the Thursday commentary, and I've had basically technical difficulties trying to set this up. This gameplay that you'll be seeing is probably one of the best gameplays I've had in quite a long time. Using the care package loop, just using care packages and game of demolition on grind, and it was, well, as you'll hopefully see, I get some lucky stuff, also play pretty well, and when I tried to put this from my laptop to my PC, put it on a memory stick, pulled the memory stick out, and I just saw a little bar go across the screen like it normally does when you're copying it. But after this bar went across, it probably took less than a second. All of a sudden, the gameplay just wasn't there anymore. It's nowhere on my computer, nowhere on my laptop, nowhere on the memory stick. It's not in any of the trashes, it's not in any of the hidden trashes. It is quite literally nowhere, and I'm basically very confused. And when the Elgato stuff records, it records the game, and then it has some other weird files, and then it renders it all into one with sound, and I managed to get the one, the video, but Sony Vegas doesn't recognize the sound files. So, the gameplay is here, but there is no sound, unfortunately. But you'll have to deal with that. It feels a bit weird to me not listening to anything as I'm doing this. But to go over the questions that came up last week, there were only I think there was one on the Thursday commentary video, and there was one on another one basically asking what I like about the DLC. But the question that somebody asked, who was he? K-Rowld1. I don't know if that's how I meant to pronounce your name. But he said, well, please make a My Top 10 Games commentary, where you tell us your favourite games, and I'm not going to do a whole commentary on it, but I will answer it, and I'm not going to do top 10, because, to be honest, I can't think of 10 games I particularly like, but a top 5, and bear in mind this is very rough. It was kind of the things that just stood out for me. As soon as I read the question, the ones that just came up straight away, and thinking, now that was actually a very good game. And surprisingly, you won't see any of the Call of Duty multiplayers in this. They are definitely not in my top 5 games. Probably not in the top 10, to be honest. They're just what I play because they're easy. And you play with your friends and stuff, it's fun. But for the game itself and the enjoyment you get out of the game on your own, I'll go through a top 5. Now, 5th, which may seem kind of strange, this one, is the Modern Warfare 2 campaign. Not the multiplayer or anything, but that's the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 campaign. I never played the COD 4 campaign, so if you prefer that one, I'm sorry. But the MW2 campaign, bar one mission, which I really don't like, I can sit down for an afternoon, play through that whole campaign, and come out of it feeling I just have a load of fun. And the beginning round, the beginning of this round of demolition, I absolutely tear them up. It is quite funny. But yeah, the MW2 campaign, for some reason, I just loved it. I mean, the story isn't amazing, it's pretty generic, and the features in it aren't amazing, but it is just a really simple one, and you can just sit down of an afternoon thinking, you know what, I don't have much to do, and I can complete it in a good 4 hours, and that's the afternoon sorted, and then you can come out of it feeling very happy and like an absolute boss. Now, I have done it in Veteran or whatever it is. I can't remember if it only goes up to Veteran. And I've completed it and all that, and it is just kind of a timeless campaign for me. I don't know why. But that's number 5. Number 4 is Borderlands 1. Borderlands 2, for some reason, I don't ask why, because I don't really know. But Borderlands 2 I didn't particularly like. It didn't seem... I don't really know what it was about it, but I just got bored very, very quickly. Never got to the end, never really tried to play it with other people and get further like that. I kind of played it for a few hours, and that was it basically. I got bored and that was that. But Borderlands 1 I played with Billy, or Product Maniac as you would have known him, and on my own, and like completed it with Billy. We didn't complete it exactly normally, but we managed to meet some people and they like played with us. And we had 4 people and we got to the end, and then Billy with his modded gun held down the right trigger as the cutscene was going on. So as soon as the massive final boss came up, he fired one shot and killed it. So that was kind of disappointing. But I did end up completing it on my own as well, on playthrough 2 in the end. It took a while, but that was a very fun game. I don't know why it was much better than Borderlands 2. In my opinion, it probably isn't, like, when you think about all the individual stuff, like the graphics and all that, it probably isn't, like, technically a better game, but I much preferred it, and I found it very fun. So there's that at number 4. Number 3 is one that probably most people haven't played, but Darksiders 1. Darksiders 2 is probably a game that more people have played, or more people have heard of, more people have seen, as it only came out last year, and that was kind of a big release compared to the last one. But I didn't like that game as much. It was more, it was basically boring. Compared to Darksiders 1, Darksiders 1 worked very well, and I don't know why they changed it so much, so it was more of a looting game, more of a kind of level up your character. Darksiders 1 was very simplistic. It was kind of the generic, walk up, complete this dungeon, find a new item to use, which will help you get through the next dungeon, and so on and so forth. And it was just very easy, well, not like easy, but simple, and it worked very well. Like the combos and just most of it, to be perfectly honest. It did work very well, and it was a game that I could go back and play again. And when I completed it, I didn't think, like, oh well, that was like a terrible ending. It kind of led into the next game a little bit, but it was just such a fun game. I could play that game again any day, if I had the time, and I probably will one day. But compared to like Darksiders 2, I much prefer this. If you haven't played Darksiders, do pick up the first one. It'll be very cheap at this point in time, but play through it. You probably won't like it for like the first hour or so. It does look kind of weird. Like, it's really bad graphics at the beginning, unless that was just my computer for some reason when I played it the first time. But as it goes, it gets better and better, and that is a quad hunter killer right there. Pretty happy with that. And what? Any more to say about Darksiders? And I love the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Anything with that is just great. I love that sort of stuff. Then at number 2 is Skyrim. I mean, I never played like Oblivion or Morrowind or anything before that, but Skyrim was an absolutely amazing game. I loved that game. Like, all my friends did. Everyone was playing it for so long, and the only thing that ruined it for me is it was far too easy to make a character that was basically invincible. I had a character which just ran around with a dagger. I was invisible, so no one could see me. I could had like level 100 sneak, so no one could hear me. I could pickpocket all the items, like, without fail. I could pickpocket people's armor off them for some reason. I mean, that doesn't really work. But I was able to do that. And I could one-hit most things with my Daedric dagger, which did 30 times damage when you stealth attack someone. So that was a very, very easy way to make an overpowered character. And you could walk into any dungeon and complete it without getting hit once. So that kind of ruined it a little bit, took the challenge out of it. I never got any of the DLC or anything, but that game just on its own is another one that if you've never played it, pick it up and you'll have... It will basically set your half term, which is coming up for most people. You won't need anything else for a half term, basically. That's a good month or two's gaming, and you are set. And there is stuff for everyone, because you can make your character do whatever it wants. But up at number 1 for me, I mean, not many other people would have this, I guarantee. But Torchlight 2 is my favourite game just ever. I don't know why. But if you've not seen any of my stuff, like, if you're here for the COD, like, on my channel, just click on my videos, and, like, all the videos on the channel, and go back, like, I don't know, maybe like 10 pages or something. You will start getting to all the Torchlight 2 videos that I made, and I covered, like, every character. I played that game. I completed it with every character there is, which is only 4, I guess. But that's like a good 20 hours with every character. I just loved that game. There was nothing bad about it, basically, in my opinion. It was so simple, and it was so calming to play compared to all the other things. Like, all first-person shooters, which Borderlands and the MW2 one are, Darksiders is like fighting, and Skyrim's more calm as well, depending on how you play it. But Torchlight 2 is just such a calm game. You can play it just at your own pace. You can go whatever difficulty you want. You've always got like a little pet walking around. You can make your character whatever you want, and it is, oh my god, I love that game. It is amazing. Also, if you have never played like any of these games I've said, and you are looking for something to do or something else to play other than COD, I really recommend picking up Torchlight 2. You will see from all the videos that I love that game, and I put a lot of time into it, and I could go back to it at any point and play the shit out of it. And I only don't because, one, I've completed it with all the characters, so that bit is a little bit boring. But other than that, I just have to play COD to make videos and stuff, and that is what I play with like all my friends. But if I go away on my laptop, I play Torchlight. If I go, like, or if I'm really bored and I'm getting annoyed at COD, I can sit down and play Torchlight for an hour or two, and it is brilliant. I'll put a link to Torchlight 2 on Steam in the description, and if you are not on PC, I'm very sorry, but you are missing out. The other question, which just someone randomly asked, is do I like the DLC? And short answer to that, yes, I do. I think all the maps in the DLC are better than the original ones. They're just more fun, to be perfectly honest. They're more bright, especially Grind. Grind is probably my favourite map in the game at this point. It's just so bright, and like all the curves, it makes it different. It's got a really nice layout. The zombies stuff, Die Rise is great. The turn thing I've not actually played other than a private match today, and that was like really boring, I've got to admit. But online it may be different. I haven't played it, so I can't really judge that. And the Peacekeeper is becoming to get a little bit overused and maybe a little bit overpowered, but that is still yet to be seen. So overall, it is great. Definitely worth the money at this point in time, and if they carry on the DLC in this fashion, then they should be good. But if you have any other questions or any topics you want me to talk about for next week, leave them down below, and I will try and respond to them next week. But thank you for watching the Wednesday, Thursday commentary, and I will see you next time.